My dirt bike is 3 years old and my battery died. Now I get batteries die, I get that. But one little thing really pissed me off about that. This thing doesn't have a kickstarter. Now for those of you who don't know, a kickstarter is an analog way to start your bike. If the battery's dead and I had a kickstarter, I could just start it right up. No battery, no kickstarter, no engine run. So I started thinking, what if this wasn't just bad luck? What if this is part of some intentional design to get us to buy more things, to have to fix things? A design that is making us more poor, more frustrated, and keeping us consumers in an endless loop of buying waste. It seems they have engineered everything to fail. And it starts with something as simple as this. This isn't some fringe conspiracy theory. It's a business strategy called planned obsolescence. The whole point is to build products with artificially short lifespans. So I asked myself, why? I started doing research. I see a video of a farmer who's not able to work on his John Deere tractor. And it made me think about all the other crap in my life that breaks. And the reason is to keep you buying things over and over again, or you not being able to work on things yourself. Hence, they make more money. It's the reason your 2-year-old smartphone starts to feel sluggish and why your printer will just randomly go out. We've all been tricked into this culture of disposable convenience, and it's costing us more than just money. It's costing us our independence, ability to work on things, and like I said, not know how things work. Now, I'm not knocking Yamaha. They make good products, and it was just a dead battery. But it just got me thinking, why can't things just be built right and be simple again? So let me tell you about my washing machine. When we first moved in a couple months ago, this was brand new. It came with the rental. A couple months go by, everything's working fine. It breaks. No big deal, things break, I get that. So I call a repair guy, I go, hey, I got this washing machine, everything's working fine, it's just when it's about to start, something just doesn't switch on in the electronics. So he goes, okay, no problem, let me see what it'll cost to fix. Lo and behold, it was cheaper to buy a new one than to fix this, which to me sounds pretty nuts. Like, you know, when I was younger, appliances like this were a big purchase for our family. Now it just feels like kind of throwaway items where if it's broke, you don't need to fix it, you just buy a new one. Seems like it's part of GE's strategy and all these other companies to have kind of that planned obsolescence. And the repair guy basically told me these things aren't meant to be fixed. They are glued together, the electronics are sealed in plastic, and you can't even find a service manual. And I thought, welcome to 2026 where appliances ghost you faster than a date.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
And to me, this is just another example of things being made cheaply, and the engineering behind it just feels like an afterthought. And to me, this feels like it's done on purpose. Companies like this have switched from using heavy-duty steel and simple mechanical parts to flimsy plastics and delicate electronic control boards. The electronics failed in this one. Sure, it lowers their production costs and shipping costs, I get that, but it makes the machines incredibly fragile. They seem to be engineered to just outlast the warranty. And the solution we're almost always offered is buy a new one, not repair it. Now, this may seem like a modern problem, something born from our tech obsession, but it's not. The playbook for this was written 100 years ago. Let's talk about light bulbs. In the early 1920s, manufacturers were getting too good at making them. Bulbs could easily last 2,500 hours or more. And when I did some research on this, I found out there's a light bulb in California that is still going today at a fire station, over a century long. But the companies that were making them, they realized this was a huge problem. If their bulbs almost never burned out, sales would tank. So this is wild. In 1924, the world's biggest light bulb makers, including companies like Osram and Philips, met in Geneva and formed a secret cartel. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but it was called the Phoebus cartel. And their one and only goal was to essentially force people to buy light bulbs by artificially limiting how long they lasted. It's insane. They created a 1,000 hour life standard and actually find any company whose bulbs lasted any longer than that. And the crazy part is it worked. bulb lifespans were slashed essentially in half, and sales skyrocketed. And what was once dismissed as a conspiracy theory is now a historical fact. And that process for engineering for failure in the 1930s didn't stop. It just got smarter. The philosophy of durability goes way beyond machines though. I'm currently renting a 100-year-old Craftsman house. It has solid wooden beams, real plaster walls, and really this unshakable sense of integrity. It was built with intention. And you see some of these new builds online, and it literally looks like they're made with cardboard. This house that I'm in has stood for over a century, and it really feels like it was built to last forever. Craftsman style homes like this were part of the arts and crafts movement, which was a direct reaction from the mass-produced, low-quality stuff of the Industrial Revolution. The movement emphasized natural materials like stone and wood and brick, handcrafted quality, and simple functional design. These homes were often built with old growth timber that were naturally resistant to rot. They were designed to breathe, to manage moisture, and to be maintained over a lifetime. They were built to be a home, not flipped. The contrast with some modern construction, which can prioritize speed and cost over longevity, is stark. And the lesson I pull from this house is obvious. When you build with quality and simplicity and intent in mind, you create something of lasting value. And I'm not gonna sound doomsday. There's still a lot of good quality stuff out there. You just have to pay more. I saw Speed did a video on this. Shout out Speed, I love your videos, man. Would love to collaborate one day. His videos are awesome. Check out the one I'm referring to, where things are still made good today, but they just cost more. And it kind of evens out, but it just seems like maybe with these bigger ticket items like a house and car and electronics and things like that are different. But I did ask myself, how do we push back on a world engineered to fail? And for me, it all started with changing my mindset a couple years ago. We, including me, we have to stop being passive consumers and really start being intentional owners. We have to own shit. And I kind of live with this philosophy now of buy once, cry once. Instead of grabbing the cheapest item, save up and invest in the more quality one. And that might mean more work of hunting through thrift stores, doing your due diligence on the product, but I think it's totally worth it. And second, demand right to repair. I just found out about this not too long ago, but it's a massive global movement pushing for laws that force manufacturers to make parts and tools that the consumer can use to repair the items that they've bought from the manufacturer. And it's working. States like Oregon and Colorado passed bills for right to repair. And in fact, legislation is now being introduced in all 50 states, which is great. And it really shows a nationwide demand for change. And finally, vote with your wallet, guys. Support companies that build things to last and are fully transparent about repairs. And I think a lot of this is coming back. My generation for sure wants quality over quantity. I think we're demanding a return of integral products. And it's not about rejecting technology or anything new. It's about demanding that our technology serves us, that empowers us instead of entrapping us. So with that TED Talk, I don't mean to blabber, I'm sorry guys, I just feel strongly about it. Especially as I have a baby on the way, I want him to grow up in a world where we kind of grew up as kids. It went away as we've gotten adults, but our parents had high quality stuff, and there's no reason we can't get back to that. It just bugs the crap out of me, the corporate greed sometimes. And I get it, everybody has to make money. There's a right way and there's a wrong way. And I don't like when companies prey on these kind of things I've talked about. So with that guys, if you guys did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. I deeply, greatly, holistically appreciate it. And yeah, if you want to support the channel and keep these going, there's links below. There's merch, there's stuff with Reverend Motors. I just really appreciate the support, guys. And we will see you on the next one. All right, bye guys.